We have seen how to create a Docker file, right? And using that Docker file, we created our custom image, and that image was stored locally. Okay, so some of the layers which we covered yesterday were layers means whenever we create a Docker image, okay, from a Docker file, okay, so each command will be represented as a layer. Okay, so whenever we first line was from, it downloaded something from the container registry, the base image which we need. Okay, then we created means then the maintainer was set. Okay, label was given, environmental variable, then the working directory, copy, add, run. Okay, all these things we covered yesterday, okay, in a Docker file. Okay, so every Docker file will consist of various layers. Yesterday when we were building Docker image, okay, so we saw all these things, right? So the first layer was base image. Then this was not in our Docker file, but instead of this, there was some other command. So each command represents a layer in Docker file. So this was the Docker file which we covered yesterday. We downloaded base image Nginx Alpine. We set our label, that is our username, okay, and email address. Then we set the environmental port. Okay, working directory was set as usr share nginx. Okay, then we copied the contents of app directory which is in our local file system to usr share nginx. We exposed port 80. Okay, but this is only for documentation purpose. And then using this command line, we ran nginx inside the Docker container, and every Docker container should run something. Okay, otherwise it will die. Okay, now today we'll be covering about container registry. Okay, especially DockerHub, and later on with AWS Elastic Container Registry. Both we will cover today. Okay, so the image which we created yesterday, that was using a Docker file. Okay, the image which we created was stored on our local system. When we did Docker images, we were able to see the image. Okay, so the same image which we created yesterday, we can store it at a centralized location. Okay, that centralized location where we store the Docker images is called as container registry. Okay, and Docker Hub is one of the cloud-based public and private both container registry. Okay, so many people have stored their Docker images and they have made it public. Okay, so anyone can download and use it. Okay, and we can also create our private repositories there. So Docker Hub provides both public and private cloud-based store for Docker containers. It is very useful at the time of CI/CD. When we'll cover CI/CD, we'll cover most of it. Okay, then Docker Hub has both free and premium plans. Okay, so there are some more features which are available in premium plans, like scanning for vulnerabilities and all. And there is a limitation of a free plan in Docker Hub. Okay, we get only one private repository. Okay, and a restricted number of concurrent builds. Okay, and only for 6 months the image is retained. After that, it is deleted. And minimal security screening, no advanced team collaboration and usage limit. And there are some usage limitation which are not in the premium plan of Docker Hub. Okay. So Docker Hub is not the only container registry. There are many. GitHub has its own package registry. Okay. Then GitLab also has its own container registry. They both are used for storing code as well as images. Okay, GitHub and GitLab. Docker Hub we have covered. Then vanilla Docker registry. Vanilla Docker registry means using your own VM as a container registry using some commands. Okay, Then Docker has its enterprise edition, which is Docker Trusted Registry. Okay. Then GitLab Container Registry, which uh, this actually it is a on-prem one. This about to are cloud-based, and this two are on-prem. Okay. GitLab Container Registry we can have on-prem as well, and GitI is also also has a container registry that is also on-prem. JFrog, Nexus, Harbor Quay, these are also on-prem, and some of them also have the cloud-based. Okay, they also have the free and premium plans both. Okay, then AWS has Amazon Container Registry, Google has Google Container Registry, and Azure has Azure Container Registry. So Docker Hub and AWS Elastic Container Registry we are covering in this course, and we'll also cover it today. Okay, so that's a small overview for Docker Hub or a container registry.